So this would be a review of the Liebherr A924C in Brodbeck livery. This is a limited edition of only 300 made. Now, whether you buy this model in this livery, other liveries, or the standard Liebherr yellow, they are all the same. Just the color is different, so this review goes for any other livery out there. The model itself, when I bought this livery, I bought it just to buy it and to see how it was, and I'm glad that I bought it, and I suggest anyone buying this model to get it in this livery because it really is a great livery and the decaling is great on it. So now I'll start off the review. I'll start from the bottom and then make my way up and then go to the boom, to the stick, and then the bucket. So to start with the blade, I'm not that big of a fan of the blade, simply from the design of it. Really, it kind of looks strange and it kind of just looks put on there. I'm sure the real machine is like that, but I personally am not a fan of it. I would have liked if it would have had outriggers instead of the blade. But the blade goes down to around right there, which the tires can spin freely, but it's really not that far down. And then it comes up pretty far. I usually display it with it up because I think it looks better. It kind of looks strange with it like that. It's just my opinion. The tires are very nice. If you notice, the rubber is nice and soft, so it doesn't, look like a plastic rubber. The treads on them are also very nice, and the hubs on the rims are pretty detailed, as you could tell. I also like how the hubs are black. Kind of makes it look cool. Over to the side, it's got this frame over here, which is metal, and it's got some etched detail right there. And the back tire at the outriggers, which is the axle that turns, it turns more to the right than it does to the left. If you notice, to the left it only turns like that, and then to the right it turns like that, which I don't know why. That's just the way it does. Two outriggers on the back, and they fold down very smoothly until they get around right here, and they're pretty stiff, which is good because then it'll hold the model up. And they come down to, you could go as far as you want. I don't put them down too much simply because I don't want them to pop out of the cylinders. The pads on the outriggers, you could tell, are perfect because they'll take the angle of anything, as you could tell, and they're not stiff, which I like a lot. And I'm going to keep them down just for now. The bottom of the model is nothing crazy, but you don't look at the bottom. You don't display the bottom of it. But there's what it looks like. Now the cab, my favorite part of the cab is that it's white. I think that the white goes very good with the green and the white decaling. I really like that a lot. The inside of the cab has the steering wheel, the steering column, the seats, and the controls. I don't really go over the cab too much. It's got the sun visor up top, the handrail right here, which is metal, which is a big plus, and then it has the 20, which is, I believe, for kilometers. That's the maximum speed that I believe it can travel at. These two railings right here are metal, which is another plus, and then it has a window up top. The side of it is very nice, and I think I like it mostly because it's the green, yellow, and white go very well together. You can also see it has kind of a gray on the bottom. All the decaling is extremely nice, as you could tell. The paint is also very thin, which is nice. It has a grill right here, and then some texture up top over here. And then the counterweight has the warning stripe on the bottom, which is one of my favorite things about it. I think that it's what all wheeled equipment should have. And I like how it matches well with the green. And the yellow stripe continues. The Liebherr decal is actually, it's not even a decal, it's actually casted. The letters are casted in there, and the same with the 924. And the letters are actually hollow on the inside, or the numbers. Plastic exhaust, which is drilled out so it's hollow, and then the decal up top. Now the right side has a lot of decaling, which I like a lot. And it's got the machine number, I would suppose, the speed limit, the warning decal, the 924, and the company logo. The steps over here, all metal over here. Unfortunately, this is plastic and that's plastic, but there's really nothing you could do about that. The top of the machine is very nice. This is metal, which is nice, and then it's got some compartment behind the cab, and then the hydraulics, which are just basically a strip of rubber that run up to the boom. The boom is a 3-piece boom, like most wheeled excavators, which is nice, and I'll show you all the movements right here. So the boom could go out and you can make a straight boom. The stick comes in that far. It curls out that far, which is nice because it's nice and straight. And then this can come down to make a 90. And it's pretty far down, as you can tell. And the digging depth is very fair, as you can tell. That's pretty deep. Now, one thing that I never like about these wheeled models are, it looks like a mess of cylinders right there, but on this one it really doesn't, because they're nice and thin, and they're also painted, so they match exactly, and I haven't had any issue of the paint chipping off. It has the lines running to them right here, and they're also pretty stiff, which is a plus. Now these lines run up the back of the boom, and the silver represents, or it even on the model holds them on, and then they run up to the top up here to the cylinder to curl the stick. And what I like about them is the cylinders are to scale. They're not big, they're not too small. They look perfect. And then there's another decal up here, and then the lines run silvery because they run along the side of the boom. And then there's auxiliary lines on the stick that run up here and then come down the stick, and then they release on the bottom, but I'll show you that in a second. Has the warning decal right there, and then another warning stripe on the stick. Now, one thing I have to say is since NZG offered a quick coupler, it makes the model a whole lot better, and it's very easy to take the attachment off. You just pull the pin. And they actually riveted mine right here. I know on other people's they're not riveted, so you could just, you know, and then you put the pin in. But the quick coupler has a ton of hydraulic line running to it, which is a plus, because then you could put pretty much any attachment that you want on it. And they're very thin, so it makes it look nice and clean. And then it's kind of got these hooks on there. I don't know what those are for, honestly. Now, the bucket that they give you is actually, it tilts. I would assume it's a ditch cleaning bucket. Just because of the shape of it and the depth. But it's a very cool bucket. It's not very deep. It kind of looks like it could just drag along the ground and scoop stuff. But it tilts, and it tilts equally. And again, to attach it to the quick coupler, you just pin it on with the pin that they give you, and it's in. And then it tilts, and it holds up top, and it holds up top, but it doesn't want to hold anywhere else, which, you know, if you want to display kind of tilted, but I usually, if I'm going to display tilted, I tilt it all the way. So, overall, as you could tell, a great model, regardless of what color you get it in. It just appealed to me more in this color. I don't find myself buying any of the other colors, or there's an orange one that I wouldn't mind having, but I'll never get it. And the Liebherr colored one is nice, but I'll never get it. I like the livery colored models anyway. I believe it retails for around 80 bucks, which is reasonable. Not overpriced, not underpriced. Perfect model to have. Wheeled equipment is definitely, or wheeled excavators are not my type of model to buy, but I own this one and I'm happy that I own it, so maybe I'll convince any of you that are looking to buy it and not sure about it. It's really a great model to have. There's one other wheeled excavator model out there that I think that other people would put or have a hard decision about this or the Cat M316D. Get this. The bucket comes off on this and it tilts. It's almost like a custom bucket. And I think that will choose you over this. And plus this is nicely built. So, hope you enjoyed the review, guys. And have a good day.